Hey, Tyler here. I've been writing down some of the most common pronunciation mistakes I hear as an accent coach. And today we're going over 15 words you're probably saying wrong. And I'll show you how to fix them. So let's get into it. Today I want to help you with a word that I think it's the word I've seen the craziest pronunciations ever. Maybe because most things here are silent. And I get it. Why would you add all of these letters if you're not going to pronounce them? But anyway, let's do this. So the word is Worcestershire. And I think the easiest way to remember this is first, let's eliminate the sounds we don't need in this word. So we're going to eliminate the first R, then C, then E, then we're eliminating the second R. Now we have a more concise word to work with. Now let's identify the strongest syllable of this word. That's the one we're going to fully pronounce the vowel sound, and the other vowels will become a schwa sound. You know, that sound we hear all the time. So here, the strongest syllable is the first one. So we already know that the other vowels here will become a schwa sound. So we want to begin by rounding our lips for the W sound. Then we're going to go to the sound, which is the same vowel sound in good, good. So move your lower lips a little bit more, good. Upper lips are more relaxed, good. Then the rest is easy, t. And then with just like T, sound, t. And then what you do is you're going to take that SH sound, sh, and go straight at the R sound, just kind of like skipping the vowel, sure. And that's it, Worcestershire. So remember, don't get intimidated by how big this word is. Most letters here are silent. By the way, if you prefer to study in a more structured way, one thing at a time, in the right order, you can check my course. I'll leave the link in the description so you can check it out. Three main things you have to pay attention. One, the T sound. If you notice, T here doesn't have that typical T sound as in my name, for example, Tyler. It has a different sound. It has a CH sound as in check. Number two, the vowel sounds in this word. First thing, we don't pronounce the E sound here, which means we only have two vowel sounds here, and both vowels have the same sound. And number three, the last thing you have to pay attention here is that this word looks like it has three syllables, but it actually has two syllables. So we only have ner and chur. So that's it, nurture, nurture. It's actually very simple, but a lot of people get it wrong because of the way it's spelled. So there are two main things you have to pay attention here. First thing is that the letter S here is silent, so we don't pronounce it. And the second thing is that the emphasized syllable here is the second syllable. And remember that when a syllable is not emphasized, the vowel becomes a schwa sound, which is that sound we have. So the first syllable becomes d. And the second syllable is brie, with that tense E sound, E. And that's how we say it, debris. I've heard people pronouncing this a bit differently, but I'm going to show you the way most people pronounce it. So we're going to start with the V sound, and this first syllable is the strongest syllable of this word. So it's the syllable we're fully pronouncing the vowel. For the V sound, I don't want you to really bite your lips like I don't want you to do that. I want you to lightly touch your lower lip on the tip of your upper teeth. Like this. You can use your finger to help your brain understand what you have to do. But obviously, don't do that when you're talking to someone. Like, don't do that. And also use your voice to create vibration in your throat. If you don't, it becomes an F sound. Because the shape is the same. The only difference is the voice. So we need voice here. Then we're going to go to the E sound. This is a tense sound. The tongue goes up, E, And so far we have V, V, V. Now we're going to go to the next syllable, but the good thing is that we can already skip the first letter here because H is silent. So we can go straight to the next letter, which is a schwa sound. So remember, just relax, drop your tongue a little, and say Imagine someone's punching you in the stomach. That's the sound. And then we have the K sound. K, K. And a dark L sound, which is that L sound you put a little bit more pressure in the back of your tongue. This syllable is kol, kol. You can imagine you're adding a schwa sound between K and L, or that you're simply skipping the vowel. And that's the whole word. Vehicle, vehicle. There are actually two ways to pronounce this word, and the difference between these two ways is in these two syllables here. So the first and the last syllable are the same for both versions, but these two here can change. So let's begin with the first syllable, which is the emphasized syllable, so the strongest one. The first syllable is L. Remember that it's not an E sound, it's I, as in sit. So a more relaxed sound than E. So the tongue is not going to be so high intense, it's going to be I. So you drop it a little bit. Then here we have two options. We can pronounce a flap T, which is that T sound we pronounced with the tip of the tongue in a very relaxed way. Da 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 da. It almost sounds like a fast D sound, plus a schwa sound. Da. And then R. A here also becomes a schwa. Or we can eliminate the E sound and pronounce tra, since T becomes a CH when it's followed by R and a vowel. So you can pronounce these two vowels separately or together. You can say literally or literally. I personally never pronounce them together using this tra sound. I always say them separately. And the last syllable is li, with a tense E sound. And that's it. You can say literally or literally. This word is actually pretty interesting because option 1 that I'm going to show you was more common in the US, and then option 2 in British English. But then people here in the US started using option 2. So now you can use whichever version you prefer. So option 1, the letter I, is pronounced as I, as in sit, which is a more relaxed version. So the tongue and your facial muscles are more relaxed. Like this. I. In the second syllable, all you have to do is to make the CH sound we hear in chuck or pitch. So option 1 is niche. Now option 2, I actually sounds like E as in sea, free, and tree. So it's a tense sound. So the tongue is a bit higher, E, and the second syllable is pronounced as an SH sound, as in she. So it's niche. I suggest you pick the one that's easier for you. This word is actually very interesting because we don't have a very weak syllable as most words, which means that, believe it or not, there's no schwa in this word. There's no sound. Another interesting thing here is that we have the letter O twice, but they sound completely different. So the first O sound will actually sound like the letter O. So the first syllable is bow. And the second syllable, O, sounds like ah. That open and back sound we have. So make sure your tongue goes down in the back so it opens space for this sound to be produced. T here is a regular T. So that T we hear in words such as time, 10, and top. And imagine X here. is actually a combination of the letter K and the letter S. So the second syllable is tox. So the full word sounds like Botox. Botox. To make it easier, we're going to split this into 3 syllables. So the first one I want you to pronounce is quor. Kwor. Quor. But then, even though we split the syllables here to make it easier, we have to connect the R sound to the next syllable. But even though we have the letter A, this is the weakest syllable of this word. So remember when it happens when a vowel is not emphasized? It becomes a schwa sound. So A here is actually a. So far we have quarren, quarren. See how we connect R with un, but without making it too strong? I don't want you to say run. It's quarren, quarren. Then this last syllable is the one I see people messing up the most. Maybe because of the way it's spelled. But what I want you to do here is to pronounce this last syllable as teen, the same way we say teenager. So it's quarantine. So the first part of this word will be pronounced as pie, just like the pie you eat. The second part is a bit trickier, but let's break it down. So first, we have an unvoiced TH sound, which all you have to do is to bring the tip of your tongue to come out and softly touch your upper front teeth. Don't press it too hard so you don't block the air. We still need air to come out like this. Then we connect this sound with an ah sound. So for this one, the tongue has to go down so you're able to pronounce the ah sound. Like thon. I have also heard people pronouncing this with a schwa sound like thun, but it's less common. Then after the ah sound, we just go to the in sound. So for this one here, the tip of your tongue has to touch your hard palate. So just behind your upper front teeth. So if you place your tongue behind your upper front teeth and slide it a bit back, the moment you stop feeling your teeth and you start feeling the roof of your mouth, that's the place I want you to put your tongue. So both syllables together sound like python. Python. We're going to split this word into 3 syllables. The first syllable, rai, is the strongest one. So this is the syllable we emphasize. Then we go to the second syllable. And here, A is so tiny that we pretty much skip it. So we go from the V sound, which you can make by touching the lower lip on your upper front teeth and adding a little bit of voice. And we go straight to the dark L sound. You know, the L we make by adding a bit of pressure in the back of the tongue. So far, we have rival. Then the last syllable is re. So an R sound followed by a tense E sound, as in see, free, me. So if you put all together, it becomes rivalry. We're going to split this word into 4 syllables. The first part is this one, but we're not pronouncing this as pre. We have to go with pry. Then we go straight into or, an R-colored vowel, so your tongue pulls back and the sides lift a little bit. Put some emphasis here because this is the stress syllable in this word. So far, we have prior. Next is the I in the third syllable, but it's a schwa sound, so it sounds like a quick That gives us priora, priora. And finally, we get the last syllable, ties. This ends with a Z sound, not an S, so your vocal cords are vibrating a little, ties. So putting it all together, it becomes prioritize. To begin with, I want to split this word into 4 syllables to make things easier. You're actually going to hear people pronouncing this E sound in 2 different ways. You're going to hear people using an I sound, as in sit, and you're going to hear people using an E sound, as in see. I've heard both. I've noticed that if this word is in the middle of the sentence and it's not emphasized as the other words, then using an is sound is more common. But you're free to use a or e, it doesn't matter. And if anyone tells you you're wrong, give them my phone number. Now, the second syllable is qua, which is a K, W, and a big ah sound. Qua. Then we have a small syllable, which is l. An L sound followed by a schwa sound, the relaxed sound we have. Then in this last syllable here, T doesn't sound like a regular T. It's actually a flap T sound, the same T sound we hear in water and butter. Then Y sounds like E, as in sea or tree. So the last syllable is ri. So it's equality, equality. We need to split this word into 3 syllables, beginning with A. And A here doesn't actually sound like A. It's actually a schwa sound. So the first syllable is The second syllable is the stress syllable in this word. So T here has a regular T sound as in time. Then O here doesn't sound like O. It sounds like So this syllable is stir. This vowel sound change happens a lot when we have a vowel followed by R. A lot of times when a vowel plus R appear together in the same syllable, the R changes the vowel so much that it often ends up sounding like R, such as in girl or bird. Then the last syllable, E and Y, make one sound only, E. So this syllable is ni. So it becomes attorney. We actually have 2 ways to pronounce it, and I'm going to show you both so you can choose the one you prefer. I want to do something a little different here because I want to begin with the last 2 letters of the word. And the reason for that is that the last 2 letters are pronounced exactly in the same way in both versions. So the letter T is a flap T, which is that relaxed T sound that actually sounds more like a fast D. It's pronounced with the tip of the tongue. For example, as in get up, better, water. Then the last A here in this word is actually a schwa sound, which is that sound we have when a vowel is not emphasized in a word. Now, the difference from version 1 to version 2 is the first syllable. Version 1, DA sounds like day, which rhymes with hey, so it's data. In version 2, DA sounds like da, the same as sound we have in cat, so it's data. Data, data. So to begin with, the only 2 vowels that don't sound like a schwa here, that sound we have, are I and A. Both E's and O here sound like So now that we know that, let's break everything down. So the first syllable, you might hear people pronouncing in 2 different ways. You might hear r, which is the R sound plus a schwa sound, or you might hear re. Now, the second syllable is the most stressed syllable in this word, and we pronounce it as fre, with a relaxed I sound, as in sit. Then we go to the third syllable, which sounds like j, a J sound as in jack, plus a schwa sound. And the fourth syllable is the second most stressed syllable in this word, and we pronounce it as ray, same A sound as in hey. Then in the last syllable, T is actually a flap T, as we see in words such as butter and water. Then O, as I mentioned, is a schwa. Then we have an R sound. So the whole word is refrigerator, refrigerator. But you might have a better option, because you can basically just say fridge, and it means the same thing. If you have any other words you want me to break down, let me know in the comments. Thank you, and see you in the next video.